Good morning. It is 7:09 a.m. on Thursday, November 19th, 2020. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Rocket definitely wants to play this morning. Currently, my foot is being draped with a toy, which Rocket would like for me to, play tug of war with and throw around a little bit. Mhm. Which, I get it. It is a pretty fun game. I mean, just look at this thing. Don't you want to take this in your mouth and yank it around and then run across the room with it? I mean, seems pretty great. Uh, I watched the all but the last episode of the Queen's Gambit last night. Continuing to enjoy it, although I will say that I feel like the plot beats are increasingly a little predictable, um, which is not altogether a bad thing. It's very stylish, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy the particulars of it. Um, but yeah, like increasingly as I see the overall shape of the thing, it's a very by the numbers plot, really. Um, but what it also actually really does is remind me of the musical Chess. Um, just the if you've so I'll be clear. I've never seen the musical Chess, but one of the things that I also find interesting about it is that although the soundtrack, Rocket, no, no, Rocket, no, the songs of Chess are pretty established, but apparently there are lots of different versions of the actual script that goes around the songs. Um, it's because the story of that musical is kind of all over the place. The music is great though. I really like it, and I think in some ways this like I can see the influence of that musical story on this miniseries. It's not the same plot or anything, but you know, and it's actually certainly not unique to chess. It's rather a sports movie trope to have like your initial opponent eventually become the person who helps you to beat the real big bad, so to speak. Um, but and then of course one of the things with something like chess, and as I mentioned, is you have sort of the trope of genius and madness are just two sides of the same coin, which I already talked about in an earlier video. And so, just that you have to make the excellent chess player into their own worst enemy as well. Which, again, it's good storytelling, and I don't want to imply that those things like make it bad. It's just a little bit more like I feel like I've seen that story before, and this miniseries does so many things so well that I can't help but wish just a little bit that the story were um, more unique. If that makes sense. But in some ways, that maybe makes sense because part of the way they talk about chess in this show is that it's assembled by all of these sort of not predefined but known movement patterns, which my understanding is that is actually kind of how chess is understood at a very high level, because although certainly from the perspective of someone coming at the game, you know, uh, just from like a mathematical standpoint, you can say there's however many billion different combinations of moves that can be made. But the truth is that like some of those sets of moves are going to be more effective than others, and people who play a lot of chess at a very high level have come up with names for some. It's like here's what you call it when you do this thing. And then it's like that sword fight sequence in Princess Bride. It's like, oh, I see you're using the blah blah defense. Oh well, of course, if everyone knows that the proper attack against the blah blah defense is the what's it precise snack. The what's it precise snack. Of course, that's it. Um, but yeah, so the idea that a chess strategy is made up of knowing all of these elemental pieces of strategy and um, and knowing which ones to place where in order to have the most effective story, of your game. That I guess that's kind of makes sense in a chess miniseries. Is you take all of these different storytelling elements and you put them in the right order. Anyway, I like it. I'm gonna watch the last episode. We'll see how it lands. But yeah, so what I would say is that it's very cool. I like it a lot. The story's predictable. But anyway, I'll leave it there, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.